Last chance.
My evidence of God is this. If you'll shut the fuck up, it rains. The rain evaporates, bro, and then it comes.
Do you have evidence for God or not before I kick you?
Because God decided that. The only rational explanation to everything existing is the Christian God that describes
great.
as
Is
living
God all
outside
good?
of
Is
time
God
and
all good?
all-powerful.
Is God all good?
Yes, he is.
And why is there evil in the world?
Because he chose to limit his power to give us the gift of free will.
Oh, does God have free will?
Yes, he does.
Does he ever do bad?
No, he does not.
Great. So clearly God could have made a world where we have free will and never do bad, right?
Yes, but
Great. So why didn't God make that world? Why is there evil?
Because with the choice of free will, we're able to choose opposite of good, and that's
evil. That's not what I asked you, sir. See, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you. The point here is that God could have made a universe where we have free will and never choose evil. God could have made that universe, but instead he chose the one where we decide with our free will to do bad. Why did God do that? Why didn't God make heaven from the get-go? Why did he make us here first? That's stupid.
Well, he did make that from the get-go. But he gave us the gift of free will, and we chose to disobey him.
No. First of all, that's nonsense. Second of all, the point is that God could have made a world where we use our free will to always do the right choice.
That's not free will.
God. Great. So then do you agree that God doesn't have free will? Is God a robot?
No, he's not. But that's not his nature.
Great.
Because
so then, if God is not a robot, then you can have free will and always choose to do the right thing, as God does, right? And why is that? Because God has a good nature. So why didn't God give us good nature such that we never do wrong?
Because he is the nature himself. He is the designer.
That's not what I asked you, sir.
Good nature only comes from good.
Why didn't God make us good from the get-go so that we never do evil?
Because that's not free will.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, I just explained this to you. Your God has free will but never does evil. Because he's good. He can't do evil, right? Can your God do evil?
No, because he's perfect.
Great. So why didn't God make us perfect?
He did.
Then how do perfect beings make mistakes?
Because he limited his power to give us the gift of free will.
That's a cop-out, right? See, there's a problem here. There is no logical necessity for evil. There's no logical necessity for why we made mistakes. If God made us perfect, we don't make mistakes. We can't make a mistake by definition.
Because, no, just like dark is the absence of light, evil is the absence of good. And we chose the absence of good.
I don't want to hear your apologetics. I don't want to hear your garbage apologetics. I want a logical reason as to why evil has to exist. And so far you failed at doing that.
Because we chose the absence of good, which is the absence of God.
Yeah, there's no absence of God. Is God everywhere?
Yes, he is.
Then there's no absence of God. So that's impossible to be absent of God.
Yes, but you can be absent of good, and that is evil.
Is God good?
Yes.
Then again, we're back to square one. We can't be absent of good either. We as human beings cannot be absent of good or God, if they're the same things.
Well then, I mean, look at the world around us. Clearly there's good absent around us.
Yeah, that's because your God either doesn't exist or your God is evil. Which one?
He exists.
Well, then he's evil, because that's what explains evil better, right? What explains all this evil is an evil God or a no God.
Okay, so if I'm sitting next to my best friend that's a super solid guy, and I turn around and just smack him in the face, and I'm like, okay, well, God is evil because of that. That's ridiculous.
That's not what I'm saying, sir.
I just chose to do evil.
You didn't track to anything I told you today. And it's because either you're ignorant or you're just being dishonest on purpose. I explained to you that God could have made a world where we have free will and never do wrong. God could have made us perfect. Why didn't he do that?
Oh my God, he did. He made us free from sin originally.
Okay, can God ever make a mistake?
No.
Why? Because he's perfect, right?
That's right.
Okay, great. So humans were perfect from the beginning.
Yes.
So that means they can never make a mistake, right?
No, that's not right.
Why not?
Because
Why not?
we chose to be separated from God.
But it doesn't matter if we choose because we can choose always. If we're perfect, we can always choose the right thing.
Not with the gift of free will.
So you're saying God can choose to do the wrong thing?
He can.
Great. Does he ever do it though?
No, because he's perfect.
Great. So we could have the choice to do the wrong thing, but never do it because we're perfect. That's how it should have been. But something went wrong. Either your God made us evil or your God doesn't exist. Which one is it?
He does exist.
I can't talk to people like this anymore. I just can't. So dishonest. Hey, what do you got?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, or the prompt is, God is imaginary, right? So, um, with that premise, it's like you cannot feel that God is around. Is that
Sir,
correct or wrong?
sir, give me evidence that your God exists. Go.
Okay, I mean, I could give you a simple analogy, which is creation itself.
No, I don't want an analogy that presupposes creation. I want evidence of your magic man. Go.
Well, it depends on which religion you're assuming that I'm in. I'm not
Whatever
a
your
Christian by
religion
any
is, whatever
means.
your religion is, give me evidence of your religion being true.
Okay, so like I said, similar how we can feel that things are created among us or our world has been created. There was a creator. That's simple enough,
Okay, I
you
feel
know?
like it wasn't. I feel like it wasn't created. Therefore, there's no creator. I win.
No. So, for
That was
example,
your
how do,
argument. That was your justification for your argument, right? I just reversed it.
yeah, because you said based off feeling, right? So,
Yeah,
when,
the same logic you're using. You're the same reason you're using is feeling. I'm doing the same thing. I feel like it's not creation. I win.
no, look, observe your senses.
No, no. Okay, great. Then why do you get to use this shit? Why do you get to use this fallacious nonsense, but I can't?
Because I'm talking about in the physical sense. You could feel the world around you. I'm not talking about sentiment.
Okay, great. How do you know that this is creation? Go.
So I observe how things come into the world. They don't just appear, they are created. Like you, for example,
What's the difference
you're
between
created.
creation and appearing? What's the difference?
Wait, difference between what?
What is the difference between creation and just appearing?
So, I mean, I'm just confused because you said that
All
you
right,
don't
sir.
feel.
Have a good day. Have a good day. I can't talk to confused people anymore. I'm just tired of it. Hey, what do you got?
Yo, I was sorry. So the premise is God is imaginary, and can I prove you wrong? So my the dilemma here is that starts with a question. So just uh let me say this. So most of the scientists say that uh the universe was created by an explosion, the Big Bang.
No, 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 no. That's not what they say. Can you give me
Yeah,
evidence of God? Can you give
yeah,
me evidence of God now, please? Give me evidence of God.
yeah. There's a dilemma. There's a logical dilemma here that follows through of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, uh, So what are the scientists usually says is that the universe was created through explosion, and
No,
they
stop saying it was an explosion and go learn. See, you are being very lazy in the fact that you have not done your research. We live in the information age. We have information all around you. You have no fucking excuse. You are being lazy because you don't understand what the
Mhm,
Big Bang means. It was not an explosion. And I guarantee you're going to say, well, if it exploded, why are we here in order? That's not the Big Bang. The Big Bang is not an explosion, okay? And there are pockets of
mhm,
order in the universe that can form naturally due to gravity. But more importantly, the Big
mhm,
Bang is not an explosion, so stop right there. It was an expansion of space-time vastly different than an explosion.
mhm.
Now go ahead and give me actual evidence of God. Go.
Okay, granted that it is not an explosion, but through the years they said that it was created naturally for a billions of times, billions of times, and so my question is uh, with all the element, just because all the elements of that are essential for life is present here in on Earth, and then and we there's suddenly life came from God knows God knows who God knows what those are things.
That's pretty much what you're doing right now, right? I'm not
Yeah,
trying to be
okay,
rude
sorry.
here, but I'm not trying to be rude here, but you obviously don't know what you're talking about, right? So when you next time you come
Mhm.
up, please form a coherent argument that justifies your belief in
Yeah,
God. So far, you're going, well, life and non-life and Big Bang. I'm not trying to be rude here, but go learn, right? Go learn something and then come back to us, okay? Have a good day. You can't debate somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. It's not possible. Proceeds to be rude. Well, sure, I might be rude sometimes, but unfortunately, there's something ruder. It's called religion, right? I am battling against religion, which is way ruder than I'll ever be, right? Yeah, yeah, you might call me rude. Oh, he's hubristic, he's rude, he's mean. But what's ruder is religion. That is the biggest evil.
Hello?
Bye bye. Hello? How do I ground morality without a God? It's called having a brain, right? I look at the consequences to my actions. That's how I ground morality. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, just wanted to get up here. So, why do you believe in
You're cutting out, sir. We can't hear you.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Drive through a dead zone. Let's see. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. So, Mike, why do you feel that you need proof, quote unquote, proof to believe in a God? And also, why do you
If I'm honest,
feel that really curious? Why are you fighting the fight against religion? Yeah.
I'm an honest person. I care about evidence before I believe in something. Okay. So either you wait, are
Sure.
you
So,
driving
yeah,
right now?
yeah.
You're driving?
I'm in my car. Yeah. I'm in my car.
Are
Yeah.
you driving?
I'm
Are you
sitting in my car.
driving? Are you
No, I'm
driving?
sitting in my car. If
Okay.
if I was driving, I'd say I was driving. No,
Okay.
I'm sitting in my car. But thank
So
you. Yeah, I
when
appreciate
it comes to
your real wanting for safety. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
okay, I'm honest. I care about the truth. I'm never going to believe in something with no
Yeah.
evidence. So that's why I care about evidence. Go, give me evidence for God.
Right, right. So you care about evidence. So give me the evidence that your house is not going to collapse right now.
I don't believe that.
I know you don't believe that because you don't know that it is or isn't going to collapse.
Right, but I believe there's
you
a
have faith that
possibility.
your health isn't going to collapse.
No, I believe there's a possibility.
So I've also believed that there's a possibility that God couldn't exist, which most religious people would. They'd say, yeah, there's a
Well,
possibility.
God is the problem with the saying that is that God is ill-defined. God doesn't mean anything in any coherent sense.
So why do you believe that?
Because there's no definition of God that actually works. It's all bad. Like, can you give me a proper definition of God?
Yeah, the definition of God is just a being that is higher than our understanding. So,
like that could be like
wrong.
That could be like my mom, or you're like an alien. That could be like fucking ET.
Of course, yeah.
So ET's God?
Yeah, it could be just like your house. No, just like your house could fall down. There are a lot of things that you could say God is. That's just semantics.
Okay, great. I
That's
love all
not
this
defining or not
I
defining.
love all this semantics garbage. Can you stop running?
You're the one that's arguing semantics, though, buddy. Sure.
Can you stop running from the question and give evidence for your fucking God?
Again, give evidence that the Big Bang happened.
Sure.
I don't think you can give me evidence for 99.9% of things that happen in the world. Give me evidence that the economy is not going to collapse tomorrow. Give me evidence that your car is going to start when you turn it on. How do you know?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't believe those things.
You don't know.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to know for sure to believe in something. Or
stop. You're yapping and yapping, and you're not even letting me speak. Relax and listen. When you say that my house will never collapse, I don't believe that. I know there's a possibility of it collapsing. Hence, I don't believe it will never collapse. I don't have faith it will never collapse. That's the difference. Okay? When it comes to the Big Bang, you asked me for evidence of it. I'll give it to you. The evidence of the Big Bang is the CMB radiation. We can literally see it, right? This is radiation from the Big Bang itself. We can also see the redshifting of galaxies, the stretching of light throughout the universe. We also can see the abundance element ratio of elements in the universe, which is correlated to the Big Bang nuclear synthesis. All these are evidence for the Big Bang. And I guarantee you don't know what the fucking Big Bang even means. So can you stop asking me for evidence of the Big Bang and start giving evidence for your fucking God now? Go. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. So first, I feel like in any kind of civil discourse, you shouldn't cuss at anybody. I think in the real world, nobody would do that or allow you.
I don't give a shit.
So I
don't give a shit.
That's fine that you don't give a shit, but I give a shit. So anyway, to answer your question, I do know what the Big Bang is. It's a theory that the universe started from a certain point, and now that singular point is expanding outward at whatever rate, right? So I don't not believe in the Big Bang. I believe in the Big Bang. I believe in all those things. I even mildly believe in evolution, but that still doesn't give you. I don't think that gives you the moral or the ethical right to just slander people of other ideologies and what they believe, right? Because
sure, it's very simple.
How do you know? Hold on, wait. You said don't interrupt you. So I let you talk, correct? So
no,
how do you know? So
stop talking. And
yeah,
give me
no, you shut up, buddy. You shut up, buddy. Yeah, get salty and cut me off. You're also yapping. Look at your comments. That's fine. So are you. You're on TikTok right now with 3,000 followers yapping because you think you're smarter because you watch.
Guys, it's very simple. Just give me evidence for God. Just it's that simple. Like, why do you have to just go blah, 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 blah. Just give me evidence for God, all right? It's that simple. I gave you evidence for the Big Bang. Now give me evidence for God. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be.
Hey, what's up, man?
So what do you got?
How are you defining evidence, and how are you defining God here?
Evidence is data that points to a specific conclusion. God is ill-defined. Give me evidence for your God, whatever God you believe in. It's your definition.
God is ill-defined? Is that what you're claiming?
Yes, give evidence for your God now.
No, but you're the one making the claim that God is imaginary.
Yes, because there's no evidence for it, right? Just like unicorns to me are imaginary. There's no evidence of unicorns. That's why they're imaginary.
There's no evidence for what?
Give me evidence for God.
You're saying something is ill-defined, but also have a position on it.
Yeah, because every definition of God I have heard of are ill-defined and they're not proper, which means that they are likely imaginary. That's the evidence that God's imaginary. Now, can you give me evidence that your God is not imaginary?
Yeah. So first we gotta maybe come to common terms of what definition of God we are talking about, because there are definitions of
Oh my
gods
God,
out there.
stop. Just stop talking and define God and give evidence for it.
Okay.
Just do it.
So I would define God to be the eternally existing, all-powerful, or maximally powerful, maximally
Okay, great.
knowledgeable.
Congratulations. Now, what's your evidence for that?
Wait, you don't even let me define God. I don't get it.
You just did, sir. Now I'm asking for evidence of it.
But I wasn't done though.
Okay, what else is God?
Okay, so God is one, maximally powerful, all knowledgeable, and eternally existent and independent of space and time. That's my definition of God.
Okay,
So
that's completely incoherent to say talk about separate from space and time. That makes no sense. But go ahead and give us evidence for that shit.
no, I mean, so when you make a claim, you got to substantiate it. Why is it incoherent?
What does outside of space time mean? That's incoherent.
So just like the laws of logic, numbers, shapes, all these things can exist despite of the universe.
No, sir. All those things are mind-dependent entities. They don't exist outside of space-time. Those are languages.
I agree they're mind-dependent.
Great. So what's your evidence for God now?
Okay, so you agree that that numbers and all these things are mind-dependent?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So my evidence for God is, so the way I define evidence is I don't limit evidence to just the natural world or the scientific method. I don't know why you're just, I mean, if you don't have the patience to, you're asking a question, you gotta let the person kind of explain themselves. Look, we need to define these words, right? Because I don't limit evidence to the scientific method alone. I would say that I believe the earth is spherical in shape, not because I've done a science experiment on it. I believe it to be true based on testimonial evidence. So do you accept that? Because I need to know what your position is, because I can keep on yapping and keep it like, oh, by the way, that's not evidence, that's not evidence, that's not evidence. You see what I'm saying? Do you accept that testimonial evidence can lead to truth?
Let's try it. I just saw Santa Claus. Do you believe me?
So I did not say all testimony.
I guess it's not good evidence then. It doesn't work. Okay,
No,
great. So go
I didn't
ahead and
say-
give us evidence of God. Give us evidence of God.
I didn't say all testimonial evidence. I have to trust. So if I knew a person that says he saw Santa Claus, and I know that person doesn't lie, so logically I do accept that Santa Claus, something that looks like Santa Claus, can possibly exist logically. But like in terms of the actual definition, are you saying that something that looks like Santa Claus made up of atoms is an impossibility?
Great. I understand where you're coming from. Can you just give us evidence for your God now?
Okay, so you accept testimony?
I accept it if it's based on some good evidence that can cross-reference with it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. So
Great.
I'm just laying down my methodology. So I accept logic, I accept testimony, I accept verifiable empiricism, which is science, and also I accept my subjective intuitions, which is basically the strongest form of evidence. But to go down, you want me to go premise, and all these things, or how do you want me to put down the evidence? Because there's tons of evidence for God. There's arguments.
Can you just give us it, please? Just whatever form
How
you
much
want.
time do you have? I mean, you keep like, it seems like you're bored or something. Like, I don't get it. Like, so there's
If you keep yapping,
evidence.
just give us evidence. Hurry up.
Okay, so there's evidence from contingency, evidence from causality. There's evidence from design, evidence from morality. Which one do you want me to?
It's like I'm being stabbed every time you say that.
Why?
Because they're all shitty arguments. They've all been debunked. They're all garbage. But
They
what
have
I'm
actually not been debunked. So it depends on when you what you
okay,
your
great. So how does contingency? Why the universe can be contingent, right? When it comes to design, that's a presupposition. Design, do you have a counterfactual for that? No, all we have
how
is
is
a
it?
universe.
But how is it presupposition? Because God, we are making the argument that we see design in things that are
Yeah, that's a
things that
precept.
are around us, organized and
Yeah, that's a
functional.
precept. That's a precept.
No, it's based on induction. That's the methodology science uses.
How are you inducing that there's design when all you have is a
So
universe that you don't have a counterfactual to?
no, but everything that I see is functional and organized. I know it's designed. So when I compare for the function
Okay,
of, let's
great.
say,
Is
talking,
God functional? Is God functional?
God function. God is a creator.
Is God functional and organized?
What do you mean by God functional organized? God is a creator. I don't. So
Is
I've
God
defined you.
functional, sir? Is God functional and organized?
Uh, yeah, I don't know if I could use those words, but I've defined God for you in the beginning of this
Oh,
discussion.
now you're too scared to define your God because you know that it counters back to you, right? Because guess what? God is functional and organized to you, and by that definition, your
That's
God will be designed.
no, I didn't say that. I mean,
Great.
you're
So
putting
then
words in my
God
mouth.
is not functional and God is not organized.
I'm not even making that argument.
Great. So would do you
God,
say would you say that God is functional? Does God have functions?
well, God is my definition of God is something that exists eternally,
Okay,
and
great.
he has no
That's not
creator.
what I asked you. I asked you something very simply. Does God have function?
Well, you're just isolating one thing I'm saying and taking it like, okay, you need
You
to
are
like,
so fucking
you got,
dishonest. This is so fucking embarrassing. And it's not your
yeah,
fault.
well,
It's really just your religion. But this is what religion does. Religion poisons people's minds into thinking that they get to special plead for their God. By your logic, your God is designed. By your logic, God is created.
how? If the definition of God is
Because God
uncreated,
is functional, right?
bro, try to understand this. Like we are
Have
talking
a good
about
day. Have a good day.
contingent
Have a good
entities.
day, sir. Enjoy your day. I can't debate dishonest people. I just can't. Can't even answer a single question.
Hey there, Mikey boy. So, if you don't think God exists, what do you think does exist?
A universe. Now, do you have evidence of God?
Yeah, God isn't necessarily what you think it is or what I think it is.
Great. So what is God?
Okay, God could very well be an abundance of energy that you and I absorb every day. 90.
Yeah. Have a good day. God is energy. He's all around me. He's in
Hi.
my poop and my pee.
Hello. So imagine the concept of dreams. So when you go to bed, you almost enter an alternate life. Not life, but you know what I mean. So when you dream, you kind of come out of your body and you create a new life, and it has no purpose. Dreams have no purpose. It has no
What you're telling me that when we go to sleep, we go into another universe, another world?
No, we don't go to another universe, but the ability to dream for it to almost feel real has to be spiritual. And
It's just a thought while you're sleeping. It's just your brain thinking while you're sleeping. That's not
no, it's not a thought because you can imagine it, it's visual, you can feel
just
emotions,
like
everything happens.
thoughts. Can you
No,
imagine thought? You can't imagine
thoughts
thoughts?
thoughts are thoughts and dreams are dreams. That's why it's different. They're called different names.
What's the difference?
The difference is a dream feels very much lifelike, like you're in the dream. And if you didn't wake up
Yeah,
ever, you
that's
wouldn't know it was
because
a
your
dream.
brain has certain REM stages, right? There's
No,
different
but it
stages
has
your
no,
brain goes
but
into, but
okay,
they're still just
okay,
thoughts while you're sleeping.
okay, but it has no functionality. Thoughts have functionality in order for us to get to A to
Why
B.
does it need
But dreams,
functionality? Why does it need to
because
have some
anything,
function for a purpose?
because everything on our body has function, and anything in or on our body has function. Okay.
No, that's
Um,
incorrect. The
okay.
appendix, the wisdom teeth, like we can go on and
They
on. The
have
tailbone.
function.
Why do we have
They
fucking
have
tailbones?
function.
That's
They
stupid.
have function just because.
Why do we have
Have
cancer?
you?
Like what? No, no.
Yeah.
There are some things in the world that don't need a purpose. But more importantly, dreams you have yet to show are some kind of spiritual journey. Give me evidence of that shit.
The evidence for that is the fact that it feels real, and if you wasn't to wake up, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
No, ma'am.
That's one. And two, wait,
Ma'am.
one moment.
The
The
reason why
periodic
dreams
table
feel
was
real.
the periodic table was revealed in a dream.
Ma'am,
Mendeleev,
hold
the
on.
person. Wait, can I just speak, please, if that's okay? Mendeleev, the person.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, man? I just want to say, man, God is good. God is great. God is
Oh,
everything.
really? So why does God allow rape? Why does God allow murder? Why does God allow people to die from starvation? Why does
Habibi,
God
you
allow
pray
people?
to the devil.
Why
The
does
devil's
God
not
allow
gonna
us to
help
do?
you.
Why
Okay?
does God
You pray to
allow people
monkeys.
to die from
Leave. Get out of
volcanoes?
here, bro. Honestly, bro.
Why does God allow people to die from
Honestly, bro.
volcanoes?
Like, get out of here, bro. All right, bro. You pray to the devil, bro. You pray
There
to
is,
animals and stuff. They cannot help you like that.
sir. Can you defend your belief in your
Whatever,
God?
bro. Whoever you pray, bro, they're not gonna help you, bro.
Stop it. You're so. That is so. That is fear. That person just represented and manifested their fear. They are scared inside. There is no God. There is no devil. It's all nonsense. What do you got?
Alright, so you're saying God is imaginary, right?
Right.
Right. Where do you get that proof from?
The lack of evidence, right? So, like when I say that God is not real, it's like the same thing as unicorns, right? I don't say unicorns are real because there's no evidence for them.
But like, what if they are though?
Okay, I still think they're not real.
All right, so let's say you look in the Bible, right? There's proof from like thousands and thousands of years ago, right?
But there's no proof today.
Like, what do you mean there's no proof? Where do you get it from?
What is the evidence of God?
Like, look in the fucking verses, bro. Like,
the what?
The verses, bro.
The verses?
Yeah, in the fucking Bible.
The Bible. What verse in the Bible proves that God exists?
Bro, there's proof all over. Like
all
over
over.
the internet.
Wow, yeah. That's amazing. All over. Okay. What's the best verse in the Bible that proves
Bro, you're
God?
being so childish.
I'm doing what you're doing, literally.
No.
Yeah, I am. You're going, oh, look, I have a book that says words. That means God real, right? That's what you're doing. It's childish. You're being childish, and you don't even know it. That's how childish you are. So can you give us evidence for God and stop appealing to some ancient book of garbage?
All right. How old are you?
I guess not. I guess you can't give evidence for God. Hey, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing good. How about you?
Great. What's your evidence for God?
I don't have evidence for God. I just want to know what is how can I say this?
You don't have to. You don't have to say it.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Hello.
Hey, what do you got for us today?
Let me turn on my camera. So you say you don't believe in God, right?
Correct.
Okay. Do you believe in the devil?
No.
So you don't believe in good and evil, right?
Good and evil are subjective. Now, do you have evidence of God?
Well, yeah, that's where I'm getting my point. Who do you think created this world that we're in?
Why is there a who? Why do you suppose a who?
I mean, in your opinion or in your perspective, what do you think created us or this physical realm that we're in?
there was no creation. We could have always existed. And it seems to me that physics is the thing that makes the universe operate, not no magic wizard.
So you believe that we were always here and we just became?
No, I think it's possible. There's no evidence of God still.
No, I know. I'm saying there has to be some type of source, right? That somehow made us or
Okay, great. So
became.
what's the source of God?
It's the beginning of man, which someone had to start a
No,
generation.
Okay, great. So who started God? Who made God?
That's a tricky question because that's like asking who made energy. Do you believe in energy?
Yeah, the point is that the universe could have always existed, right? And
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
just say, great. So just as you say God was always there, we could just say the universe always was.
Right, but as we're saying, there, do you believe that there was someone that's a higher source than us that made this reality become, or we just were
I don't
always
know.
here?
I don't know what that means. I'm looking for evidence, right? I don't care about beliefs. I want evidence.
Right. So the devil, you say you don't believe in the devil either, right? So this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. You're trying to tell people there's no good and evil, that's subjective, and that God is not real because we were always made. And then now you're saying, oh, but since we're always made, now God, how did God become? That you're just jumping from conclusion to conclusion. Basically, you're just trying to. Once I answer
No,
your question,
no, I actually never made any claims today. I'm simply asking you for evidence of God.
there has to be a source of creation, someone that started all this. We just
Not,
weren't here.
that's not evidence. That's a feeling.
Do you believe in evolution?
Evolution's a fact that we can demonstrate. Yeah. Now, do you have
So you
evidence of God?
so you think we came from monkeys? Is that what you're saying? That
No, that's not what evolution says. Do you even know what evolution is?
Yeah, I do. But what I'm
What is
saying
it?
is
Go
you
ahead.
you
Go ahead and
think
explain. Go ahead and explain evolution to us.
I mean, it started from the sapiens and then we became different, It just jumped from timeline to timeline, basically, with technology and everything. But basically, my
No,
point
no,
is, if you
this isn't Power Rangers morphing time. No, we don't morph into like different species, right? It takes millions of years, generations. It takes populations. Now,
right, so how, when you say we were always here, who do you think started this? Like, how do you think we became this advanced in life, this technology?
it's I don't know. We used our brains. We evolved, not God.
So you
There's
think
no.
out of nowhere a man was just like, oh, I know how to create light bulbs, and he
So
just created
if
light
you're
bulbs?
saying that there has to be somebody behind our intelligence, is God intelligent?
Very, the most intelligent.
Great. Then by your logic, somebody made God. Who made God intelligent?
But I mean, possibly. I'm not disagreeing with the God was always. You're saying that God, someone made God, right? So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you're saying someone made God, you obviously believe there's a God.
No, it's called an internal critique, right? I'm putting on your shoes for the sake of the argument.
Do you
I
believe in
don't actually
spirit?
believe in God.
Do you believe in spirit? That we have a spirit, or we're just walking
Yeah,
vessels?
this isn't Oprah, right? This isn't where you get to ask me questions. This is a debate stage. We're debating here.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
So I just wanted to ask, like, why do you have to be so mean?
Because religion is meaner.
And like, why are you so against God?
Because God's against me.
He's not against you.
Yeah, your God wants me to burn.
No, he doesn't. He wants you to
Great.
seek him.
Okay, great. So does God get everything he wants?
Yeah, I guess so.
Does
He's God.
God want me to go to hell or heaven? Or does God want me to go to heaven?
He wants you to go to heaven, and he
Okay,
gives
great.
you the
So
opportunity to believe in him so that you can
right. So
go.
then by your logic, I will get to heaven because God never fails at what he wants to get.
Yeah, Mike, I just hope that you find the Lord because he loves you
And you
Oh,
just,
okay. Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing
So you
is,
have no
like,
actual evidence of God? You're just gonna yap and preach?
I mean, so one person said that evidence is in the Bible, and I honestly believe that's true. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't just open the Bible and
I did.
see
Talking
where the
donkeys,
evidence
talking
is.
snakes, talking zebras, all kinds of nonsense in there. Like, there's no evidence of God in your book of nonsense. It's an ancient mythology.
No, there's no talking zebras, and you know that.
Numbers
You know
22. Numbers 22 talks about talking donkeys.
that. Okay. Yeah, and like you're so strongly against it. Like I
Because
don't, it's
religion's
really
against me,
weird.
right? Your religion's against my existence, right? Like, your religion says that I
It's
should burn.
not. God knows you. He made you. So how could he be
Then
against
why
you?
does he want? Then why does he want to burn me?
He does, he doesn't want to burn you.
Am
Like,
I going to go to hell? Am I going to go to hell as an atheist?
yes, if you don't
Okay,
accept
great.
Jesus
So
Christ
what?
as your Lord and Savior, and He's given you the opportunity. Look, Mike, you literally have time on this earth to find
Man,
Him. I
listen.
honestly think you
So
should. I
hold on.
promise you, Mike,
So
please, just
hold
believe in
on.
me.
No. So would you ever? What if I had a child and I said, you know what, kid, you don't believe in me. I'm going to burn you. Would that be fair?
No.
Same with God, right? God has, hey, he's like, hey, you don't believe in me, son? You're going to burn forever. That's even worse. Your God's worse than a maniac.
Mike, you honestly one day are going to have to retract your words. No, you being yeah, no, I just don't like the way you're talking about my God.
Because you're
And
scared. It's not because
I'm
it's
not
because you're scared.
scared.
Ma'am, I used to
Scared
be
of
religious.
what?
Scared of being wrong. I used to be
I'm not
religious.
scared. Listen, Mike, I don't mind being wrong.
Okay,
I
great.
God
So then,
will
then you wouldn't
God
waste
will
your
defend
time. Then you wouldn't
himself.
waste your breath preaching to me. You would give me evidence.
Mike, can I just say I'm really glad you haven't removed me yet because yes, I haven't given you evidence.
Too late. Have a good day. Next. Hey, what do you got?
Yo, Mike, look all around you. The evidence is all around you. You think this intelligent existence just came out of nothing?
You're being satirical, right?
I'm not. I'm asking you, where did this existence come from?
Where did God come from?
It was always there.
Great. Then we can say the universe was always there, and we scratch out God and we win.
No, because the universe is experiencing the Big Bang, and who initiated that Big Bang?
Who initiated God?
He was always there.
Then we can say the universe was always there. The Big Bang's not the beginning.
Yes, it was. Then how did everything come to place then?
What do you mean come to place? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm asking you, like, when we look around, there's buildings, there's cars, all that had to be built. So I'm asking, where did the universe, how did it come to place? Like, who built the universe?
Nobody built the universe, and if they did a shitty job, right? Look at cancer, diseases, genetic disorders, right? Supernova explosions, things that destroy. There's a lot of chaos in the universe, and if your God designed it, he did a bad job. But more importantly, I could just push this problem back to your God. Who designed God? Who made God? Who put God in his place? Right? It's the same thing.
God, by definition, is eternal.
Great.
Meaning
Then
that
the
no one
universe, by
created it.
definition, is eternal, and I win.
No scientist would agree with you. There's no
Tom
consensus
Carroll, Brian
on
Greene,
that.
Michio Kaku. I can name you several scientists who agree that it's possible the universe can always be. Brian Cox.
So if it's possible, why isn't it possible that God, created the universe?
Because God is ill-defined, right? That's like saying, why is it possible that Snuffleupagus Bagaba monster is not real? It's just a word, right? God is just a word, like Snuffleupagus. It doesn't mean anything.
I mean, there's plenty of arguments for the existence of God. I suggest you look for it.
Great. Then give me your best one. Give me the all-time best argument for God.
The Kalam Cosmological. What? What's wrong with that argument?
The Kalam is not an argument, it's an assertion, right? The Kalam is asserting there's a beginning. And more importantly, it doesn't even get to God. It just says that the universe has a beginning, therefore it had a cause. Okay, we can even concede to that and still not have to have God come into the picture. Kalam is a bad argument.
Yeah, but do you agree that the universe is contingent?
No.
All right. I mean, I can't convince you, man.
Yeah, it's hard to do, right? Easy to figure out it's real. It's hard to prove it. Hello?
Hey there. How you doing, brother?
Great. What do you
Hello? Well, I guess we could start simple. The Kalam argument, man. Everything has a cause, and therefore the universe has a cause, and that means that God created the universe.
You're joking, right? You're joking,
No.
right?
No. I mean, okay, so we can go into what I'll let you pick, man. You want to go to prophecy or you want to go to biblical text, surviving text?
I want to get to
I mean,
evidence.
you don't want to
Give me evidence for God.
Evidence for God. Kalam argument.
You know,
Is there evidence?
Did you know that in the Kalam argument there is no God? There's no God in the premises.
No, but the fact that the universe exists in the first place, the fact that you exist and that you have breathing hands and a conscious mind, the very fact that that is
hands breathe now. Okay. So no, the fact that I'm here is not contingent on there being a God. I could be here for some natural reason, right? There could be a natural reason why I'm here, right? There could be a quantum reason. God is never required, let alone in the Quran.
So therefore, you would have more faith than Christians if you believe that
my faith in? What is my faith in?
Your faith would be in that it just has a natural cause. It's all accident. It's all natural.
I'm saying that it's plausible that it's natural. You're saying it must be God. I'm saying no, it could be natural.
Yes, I'm saying it must be God because it's the only rational explanation. When you take it
Where's the
down
rationality? Where is your logic behind God?
The authentic Bible.
The same Bible that says donkeys can talk and that a guy can walk on water and be born of a virgin? That's nonsense.
Absolutely.
The Bible is pathetic. The Bible is a pathetic book of garbage. It's trash.
So I'll tell you why. Because if God really is all powerful, if he really is, then he was able to keep his message pure. And he's also able to create a whole earth. He's able to create humans.
Okay, sir.
So then therefore he's able to donkey talk. If he is all powerful, yes, I don't believe in a weak God. See, you're limiting God to a weakness. I'm seeing God as all powerful. It's called omnipotence, which I'm sure you know as an apologist.
Okay, so I'm not actually an apologist. That's a satirical bio. But more importantly here, when you say that that there has to be a God to make us, that's unevidenced. You have no evidence for that at all. And when you say the Bible is evidence of God, you're using the Bible. The Bible is the claim, not the evidence, right? You're being circular here by saying the Bible is the evidence.
Okay,
the Bible
so here's
is the
my
claim
evidence.
that God exists. That's not the evidence.
So here's some more evidence. The evidence, the fact that you have a brain, which is smarter than any computer designed by what? Humans. Designed by what? A designer. So therefore, we must have a design. Every design has a designer and every creation has a creator. This is an undeniable fact within reality itself.
Hold on, I can't see you. I got to get my glasses. Okay, now I can see better. Okay. You said, well, we couldn't make something better than nature? What?
Right. You cannot design.
Okay. Yeah. So this piece of glasses can actually fix my eyesight better than nature can. We can actually do better than nature. We can make
Well,
we can
actually,
actually
you
make
can't
life better than
produce,
nature. We can make
the
telescopes, microscopes, cars. All these supersede our abilities.
cannot produce a human brain.
Well, we actually can make quantum computers that can perform calculations way faster than any human brain can.
Right, but you still cannot do the basic of biological life. You still cannot
Yes, we
travel
can.
to
We
the
can make life. Yes, we
my
can make
God.
life in labs. We can make
This is
simple
why.
designer cells in labs.
So, in my opinion, I believe that Job 38 exists for people in your boat.
No. Stop. You're not going to preach your garbage. You're going to give me evidence or go away. I just debunked everything you gave me. You said that, we have
Single thing.
brains, therefore God. And I showed you that we have AI and quantum computers that supersede our
I'm
brains
an
and
AI
egos.
developer. I'm an AI developer. It's what I do for a
Great. So
living.
then you should recognize that the human brain is no special thing. It's an amazing thing, but it's not special.
I have to train it. It is not special.
Just
We
like
are
your brain.
special.
Your brain had to be trained too.
No.
So
My
you
brain
know
can be
so you came out of the womb knowing everything you know today?
I did not have to be trained to think. I had to be molded over
What?
time.
Yes, you did. You had to be trained to know what things you believe in.
I have to train how to think. With a human baby, that baby can automatically think from the time they come out of the womb and they're looking. There is a thing called perception. And so
Yeah,
perception is
but
naturally
those
built into
thoughts that you
us.
have, sir, so you're simply saying that there's a functioning thing there. Yeah, of course I agree. There's a functioning brain when you come out of the womb, just like a computer is functioning from the womb. But what I'm saying is that a neural network, an AI neural network, is the same thing as a biological neural network because there's still neurons that are working in certain ways, right? You could call them synapses. We call parameters synapses. It's the same thing, right? It's inputs and outputs in a systematic way. That's why there's nothing I can
Here,
say
I'm gonna
there's nothing
one more.
special about the human brain.
Okay, so
That
there we differ. So let's get out of the physical then. So I believe, yes, there is something special about humans. I believe that we are created in the image and likeness of God.
no. You don't get to sit here and preach your garbage.
Why?
That's not
Okay, I'm not.
evidence.
But why are you different than animals?
We are
Why are
animals.
you
We are
different
not
than what
different.
makes? Okay, what makes your thinking capacity and ability to conversate different than
We have a
animals?
bit more neuronal power. That's all.
Okay, so why? The
Because
Bible gives you the
we evolved to
definition.
be that way. We evolved to be that way, sir. Now, do you have evidence
No.
of God?
This is again a theory. Whether it's a scientific theory or not, it is again.
Evolution is a fact.
What were
This is
Darwin's last
indisputable.
words when he died? What were Darwin's last words when he died, sir? It's
I
in his
don't.
biography.
Yeah. No, sir, you don't know jack shit about evolution. I can see that
What
clearly.
was
You don't know what
Darwin's
the fuck
last
you're talking about.
words?
Evolution does not hinge upon what Darwin said at all.
Okay, this is true, but what
Evolution
was
is a
Darwin's
fact.
last words?
Evolution is a fact independent of Darwin. Did you know
Yes,
that?
absolutely. But I want to take you back for what is Darwin's last words?
I don't care. Now, can you demonstrate that God exists?
Yes. Okay. So when you take Aristotle and Socrates' writings, they're 4 feet high and they have 75% accuracy rate. When you take the Bible writings, you have a mile high of writings with 95%, 99.5%
I don't
accuracy.
care, sir. Your Bible talks about talking snakes and owning people as slaves. Your Bible is a book of nonsense.
You said proof. It is the most well documented document on
care. That's irrelevant. That's
no,
irrelevant,
that's
right?
No, it's not.
Listen.
Mankind cannot keep records, but God can. There's a problem. Mankind can't keep that good of records. The Bible is 99.5% accurate to the original text.
Relative to what?
I just gave you what the world's teaching. Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. 4 feet of.
There's the world. The Bible teaches the earth is flat. The Bible teaches that donkeys can talk. The Bible
says God sits above the circle of the earth and looks at the
Bible teaches that you can rise from the dead like a zombie. The Bible's garbage.
Yes, it does say that you will resurrect. Does not say that anybody.
That's not true. You can't resurrect, sir. There's no evidence of that. Now, can you give me evidence of God?
Okay, here's the next evidence. It's called the Bernstein experiment.
No. Stop saying next evidence.
Every time I give you evidence, you stop me.
Because it's not evidence. You keep babbling, but it's not evidence. because simply saying a book says a thing isn't evidence of that thing. You still, at the end of the day, have a book that was written by ancient people who did not know what science was, who did not know that the earth was round, who did not know what gravity was, who did not know what germs were. Okay? So so please give me something extra biblical for your God. I don't want your Bible. I know you believe the Bible so much. I know you believe in Daddy God, but I want evidence of your God being correct outside of the Bible, the claim, right?
Okay,
Go ahead.
so here's one. Sodom and Gomorrah. It is the only place on earth to this day where you can find sulfur balls that the Bible said fell from heaven.
Yeah,
Therefore,
you know where sulfur balls come from?
they are the only place on earth, and it
No,
says
no,
that they
no,
had
sir.
no
Do you know what
water.
sulfur? Do you know what sulfur is in asteroids?
Sir, can I
It's
finish
in
my point?
asteroids. Asteroids can bring sulfur to the Earth's surface.
So listen, it is the only place on earth where they are in a perfectly round ball shape, which
That's
means
because
that
of
they
an
went.
asteroid. That's because of an asteroid impact.
Can I please, dude? You don't want to know. You believe this is why the fool
I
says in
gave
his
you the
heart there.
refutation, sir. That was an asteroid impact, and scientists can
Okay,
demonstrate that.
so what
You
scientists
cannot
actually,
demonstrate that God did that.
if you go to Google and you actually look it up, it says that there was water which made it round, which means that they fell through
Google
rain.
is not a source.
Okay, you can go to any Wikipedia page and you can look up the sources and the sites,
Sir,
boss.
Wikipedia is not a source either, sir. I'm asking you for actual evidence outside of the
Well, you
Bible
won't
that
allow me
demonstrates
to
there's a
speak.
God.
I've given you physical evidence, I've given you psychological evidence, and I've given you tyrannical evidence, and you will not receive either.
No, you
You
have
will
not
not
given me
receive.
evidence. Sir, what is
Fool says
evidence?
in his
What is
heart.
evidence to you? What
Look,
is
I'm gonna
evidence?
close with this, boss. I'm gonna close with this. The fool says in his heart there is no God.
No,
That's
no, no. You will not get the last word, jackass. You will not preach on my life. I will not tolerate that garbage. You have not. You have been utterly dishonest the entire talk. You have claimed after claim that you had evidence when you had jack shit. First, you said the Kalam, which I disputed. Then you gave me the Bible, which is not evidence. Then you said that Sodom and Gomorrah is evidence when I showed you no, it was an asteroid impact. You did not refute that. You did not give jack shit. So stop pretending you had something when you didn't have anything. Hey, what do you got?
Hi there.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Great. What's your evidence for God?
So basically, I'm a pagan. I believe in all gods and goddesses. And to be fair with you, I don't really have any proof that they exist. All there is words.
Everybody, please subscribe to the YouTube link in bio. I post all my debates there. I have lots of great videos on my YouTube. Check the link in the bio. Thank you.
You're simply a jackass, my friend.
Great. So give me evidence of God.
Well, here's some quick evidence for you. Now, if I punched you in the face, would you attack me?
Yeah. So where's your evidence of God now?
I'm asking you a question.
I
This is
said
gonna
yes. Yes. Now what's your evidence
Okay,
of God?
so you would punch me back because I punched you first. So you never turned the cheek. What's this for?
Do you have evidence for God now? We're still waiting.
I don't have any more of those. I'll get back to you in a minute, brother.
He's at Walmart getting his mullet wig. Hey, what do you got? He's getting his beer. Cigars and beer.
You there, brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you want evidence of God? Is that all right? Well, this is what I got. Okay, so my evidence of God's existence is me, brother. And I know there's a lot of speculation out there on how we became or how this all existed or how it all was made and all this shit. But if there's no God that explain how everything on earth is perfect, the plumbing's perfect, we're just far enough away from the sun.
Everything's perfect. So like millions of people die of starvation every day. Is that good? Is that perfect too?
Well, first of all, I'm not talking about people dying, bro. I'm talking about shit
Okay,
that's
great.
within the earth. I'm talking about like it rains and then the water evaporates, bro, and then it rains back.
Yeah, and then it floods and then it kills
Shut the
people.
fuck
Right?
up and
Like
let me talk.
it
You
floods.
don't let
You can
nobody
have
fucking talk. All you do is run your fucking dick hole. Let me fucking talk. Can you do that? And all these people come up here and let you just fucking talk over them and fucking just bully them and shit. You just fucking bully anybody you want. I'm not that motherfucker, dude. Shut the fuck up.
All right, motherfucker. Let's do this then. Give me evidence that God exists.
I mean, dude, shit. If you'd shut the fuck up, man, I'll give you a point. Something that will help
Okay,
you out.
then give the evidence to stop whining.
Dude, you're using something you don't even believe in to make money, bro. So let me give you my perspective.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's dishonest. I'm not using this to make money.
Bro.
What I'm doing is I'm trying to show people that there are no good reasons.
You're sitting here.
That's dishonest of you to say. I'm doing this to show people that there are no good reasons to believe in a God. I'm trying to make people think on their own terms, think critically. That's it. I'm not here I'm not using your God. Your God doesn't fucking exist. So, give me evidence of your magic fucking fairy tale. Or go away. Because let's face it, you believe in talking donkeys, sir. Okay, that's laughable. And give evidence. You're a comedian, but you're laughable. Very laughable. So give evidence of God.
Well, shut the fuck up and quit muting me and I will.
Go. Last chance.
My evidence of God is this. If you'll shut the fuck up, it rains. The rain evaporates, bro, and then it comes back and it grows plants. The fucking earth is just far enough away from the sun to keep it from dying. All that shit didn't come about, man, because of a Big Bang Theory or where the fuck you got in your head.
Okay, so your evidence of God is the rain.
No, oh my God, dude. You know what the fuck I'm saying. You just want to argue something and be a dumb motherfucker is what you want to do.
The rain, there for God. The rain, there for Snuffleupagus. The rain, there
you
for...
motherfucker. You got one warped motherfucking head. Nobody else is going to tell you this, but your head is...
Oh, Christian love. They're so loving. Oh, thank you, sir. That's such a great, loving man. You're so beautiful. Such a beautiful Christian. The rain is coming down. That's God. But when it floods, that's not God. It's not God when it floods. Only when things are good for me, I love God. Go to somebody's home who's been flooded in a hurricane and tell them that God did that. Hey, what do you got?
I've got a problem with the question, you're right, because in a way, everything's imaginary, you know?
No, I don't know. There are things that are real, right? Like the sky, like clouds.
How do you know that though? Because
Yes, we
everything
can
you
observe them. We
see,
can observe them. We can observe them.
you can observe them, but you know, maybe from your eyes that have evolved to see the way that light bounces off of things, but
yeah, that's
that
observation. That's what observation is. Yes.
Yeah, right. But that doesn't necessarily mean what you see is what really exists.
Well, I mean, you can appeal to solipsism here and say, well, we'll never know for sure, but that's not what I'm saying, right? I'm saying in the context of a reality we live in, right? There are things that are real that we can observe and things that we can't observe, like God. So how do you observe God?
Well, by God, do you mean like someone in the sky, or do you mean maybe like a
Whatever God you
multi-dimensional
believe in,
being?
whatever God you believe in.
Right, so, well, would you say that we don't know if there exists maybe the potential of a omnipotent being? So you can't really say you can prove the question wrong or
Well, I
right.
don't know what omnipotent means. I mean, there's many issues with it. There's a paradox with omnipotence. Um, you know, not only is it that, well, you can ask, well, can God lift a rock heavier than he can make it? But you can say that there's a logical problem with it, because Christians will never say that God can do sin or do evil. And if that's the case, God does not have all power. So what they say is they reduce it to God can do anything logical to his nature. In that case, we can just say that for anybody, right? I can't do anything
Right.
beyond my nature either. So in that case, I'm omnipotent, right? So the omnipotence paradox is a big problem for this definition.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess coming from like an idea of Christianity, but
Okay, great. So do you have evidence for God or not before I kick you?
that's a stupid question.
No, it's a good question.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got?
I don't think it's fair that we can't mention the Bible when talking about God, because a
Okay,
lot
great.
of
So can I use the Quran to prove that Allah exists?
no, because no.
Why not? That's a problem, right? You can't just appeal to your Bible all the time and then go, "Oh, the Quran, you can't use that. Oh, the Vesta, you can't use that book. The Torah, you can't use that book." That's the problem, right?
Well, I want to say I believe that the Quran wasn't from God, and I believe the Bible is from God, and I
Right,
say believe because I'm
right.
not
I
saying I
understand
know.
that. I know that. But I'm
But
asking you why. But I'm trying to show you that that's a reason why you can't use the Bible, because you're obviously biased here.
yeah, I'm biased in a sense because I believe in nothing else. I understand where you're coming from on that. You mentioned evolution, and what direct evidence that you have that you can observe with your eyes that evolution is a fact?
Fossils, chromosomal fusions, DNA sequencing, lab experiments like Richard Lenski's in the 1990s, where he took a species of bacteria and split their populations and observed their speciation over multiple generations. We have tons of evidence for evolution. There's no evidence of God now.
So what do you get from observing fossils?
We take a look at their homologous structures and analogous structures, which demonstrates things from the geological strata that we can date through time, right? We can date these fossils through time and observe their structural changes, which is
Okay.
evidence of evolution.
All right. What is a homologous structure?
It's a structure where you have similar structural features that are similar in multiple species, which is evidence of common descent.
Gotcha. Okay. Also, I want to say before, we talk more, I don't come on here to fight or argue or cuss or, raise Cain.
Great. But I don't care about that, right? What I care about is evidence for God. So do you have any evidence for God?
Okay. What you said was, homologous structures is similarity between, different bone structures or whatever in between individuals or organisms. And then you also said that, we can look at bones over time and tell that one came from another. When you find fossils in the ground, all you know is that thing is dead. That's all you can get from it.
No, absolutely not. We know what it was. We know the species it was. We know what kind of species it was. We know that how it died. We know how long ago it died. We can infer many things based on the fossil records. Many things.
No. Tell me how.
No.
How can you tell me how you can say what kind of species something is just from looking
by
at
looking
bones?
at its structures, looking at its bone structures. And if we have enough fossils, if we have enough structure, we can determine the species.
Okay, what if the structure that you're finding is something completely different than what you think it is? I mean, see.
Yeah, that's why we have cross-reference data, right? And we don't just take a look at one fossil and say, "Yep, we know that's that." We take a look at, we cross-reference it with other fossils in the area, right? All other geological strata. See, science is more nuanced than what you think it is. It's not just you look at one thing and go, "Yep, that happened." That's what religion does.
Yeah.
What science does, we take a look at all the data, all the best available evidence, and we can come up with a solution and a theory. And that's what science does. Whereas what you're doing is saying, nope, it's got to be God because it's in this Bible. That's stupid.
Okay. what would make you believe that God's real?
Any evidence.
Okay, so, all right, I was expecting you to say directly observe God, and a lot of people
That
say
works
that.
too. Can I just observe him? Does he have does he have a nice butt that we can observe?
I believe that God is not within flesh, or not within flesh, but God Himself is not restrained to flesh. Anyway,
Okay, great. So he's constrained to what? Magic
he's not
dust?
he's not constrained to anything, and that's what makes him worth
Okay,
worship.
great. So God is everywhere. God is up my ass. God is in my pee hole. God is
Okay,
everywhere.
so a soul. I feel like I believe that that's evidence that there's a God, and I want to ask. I mean, evolution. Where did life come from?
Organic compounds on the earth. You're made of organic compounds. You're made of lipids, phosphates,
Proteins,
DNA.
yeah,
They're
so on.
organic molecules.
Yeah, I understand. But unless there's some complex system to make those things come together to be alive, they couldn't come alive by themselves.
Yeah, it's called chemistry. Ever heard of that before? Chemistry?
Not once you said earlier that life has been created in a lab. That there
Yeah,
has never been.
We've seen life be produced in a lab and in nature.
Yeah, we see life in nature all the time. We don't see life in a lab unless you're putting,
We
a
do.
sperm and an egg in like an ICF
No,
situation.
we can make simple cells with or basic ingredients like lipids and things like that. We can make cells like that way. But more importantly, just because we can't produce a living being from scratch doesn't mean God exists, right? I'm asking you, how do you know God exists? And all you're saying is, well, how did life come from non-life? That's not an argument. That's
and you can't explain that. You can't explain how life.
Now you're being dishonest because we can explain it. It's just that it's not we can't explain it. It's that you failed to do your research and learn, right?
You're deceived to believe that.
No, we have something called abiogenesis, which is a very solid idea that actually demonstrates how we can get RNA, how we can
There
get.
You go, idea. You said idea.
It's an idea that's actually solid and based on evidence.
You're putting faith in that. You've never
No, I'm
directly
not, Jack.
observed.
No, stop being dishonest. We're not putting faith in it. It is based on evidence that we can observe. We can observe the
Nobody's
polymerization
ever
of
observed
RNA.
anything. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, if you just let me educate you.
Go ahead.
We can observe the polymerization of RNA molecules with when we add basic clay minerals to it. This is how RNA is produced in labs and in nature. We can replicate it. We can produce amino acids from scratch with basic gases with the Urey-Miller experiment. We can make lipid bilayers. These are protocells. These are the cell walls we can make from scratch. All the above are evidence that abiogenesis is a very solid idea based on evidence. There is no evidence of God, though.
All right, I do believe that you can make proteins from, like you said, organic compounds. But just because there's proteins doesn't mean there's life.
Right. So that's what abiogenesis is there to show you, that you can get, once you have proteins, once you have protocells, once you have RNA and nucleotides, polymerization of them, you can get a living cell. You can get a protocell.
So we have directly observed that.
We have directly observed RNA being produced. Yes, we know how it happens. We just don't have we don't have every fucking detail, of course not. But we have enough details to know that it's not God or anything like that.
So this is new to me, and it's called RNA, where
it's called RNA
and make life.
Yep, ribonucleic acids. Yeah.
Nucleic acids, and is that thing's living? It moves around on its own and eats and reproduces.
Life is not an object. Life is a process, right? Life is a process, not an object.
Okay.
So you're looking. So this is a common mistake theists make, right? They're looking for the life molecule. There is no such thing.
Exactly,
life is
it's a soul.
that happens to non-life.
You're not going to be able to find within the world what causes something to be alive.
Yes, we have. We know what it makes. It's called chemistry, organic chemistry.
Okay, so what you just said, you had me believing for a second that you could get life from non-life, but you
Sir,
said that
you're being so fucking dishonest. Now you're being fucking dishonest because
Look, I'm
you
being nice, man.
out of your ignorance, you're making a straw man. I obviously just told you that you can get life from non-life. It's called abiogenesis, and we can demonstrate it in labs because
Okay.
life is not an object. Life is a process that happens to non-life. Nothing about you is alive except for the fact that there are millions of things occurring in your body.
But what is
Many
death
chemical
then? If
interactions.
nothing's alive, how does something die?
That's not what I said,
You said
jackass. If you will
we're
listen
not.
to me and stop being dishonest.
Look, dude, you're on live. You have people coming on here.
Oh,
We can
this is
respect each
embarrassing
other.
for you. This is embarrassing for you. You know what? Go learn some science. Right? I don't have time to be Bill Nye. Life is a process, not an object. DNA is not alive. DNA is a molecule. Life is what non-life does, not what it is. Everybody, please click the link in the bio for my YouTube. I have all my debates there. You guys can watch all my debates. You can watch, I have lots of science videos. I actually have a video on abiogenesis, the Big Bang, and all these things. Please go take a look at those. I explain why I'm an atheist, what I believe, all these things. Go please take a look at my YouTube.
Yeah, what's good?
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
2005.
What month?
May.
All right, what do you got?
Alright, so I think that God is real because by establishing two logical premises, it is evident that God is real.
What is the premise?
The first logical premise is that, evidently speaking, the world is of everything that is of a finite age was created or caused by something else. And then the second one is going to be that infinity cannot exist as like a real life concept. It's only going to be applied like in mathematics, which is an abstraction of reality. So if you combine these two, it's evident that the universe would be finite and created by something.
Yeah, so this is false for two reasons. One, we don't have any evidence of things beginning to exist. That doesn't make any sense. Nothing just begins to exist all of a sudden. But more importantly, the universe does not need a cause. Infinity is a concept, I agree, but it can apply to physical things in the sense that space can be infinite, time can be infinite, and there's no logical contradiction there. You can have an infinite space-time. There's no contradiction, and this is the position of many scientists like Sean Carroll, Michio Kaku, Brian Greene. These are top physicists who understand that the universe can indeed be infinite.
I understand that, but the fact that we have matter that actually does have a finite age.
No, we don't. We don't have that. That doesn't make any sense. There's no finite age in matter.
No. Like we've carbon dated, right? And we've seen that the matter in this universe is only a certain of years old,
Well,
right?
So when we date things, that's just a relative date, right? Like relative to as far back as we can see. The Big Bang is not the beginning. The Big Bang is how far back we can see. It's the end of our observations, not the beginning of time. So when we say the universe is 13 billion years old or the Earth is 4.5 billion, that's just a relative age relative to what we understand about the universe. It's not an absolute age.
For sure. Like there could have been a Big Bang and that was caused by a singularity, and then Big Bang, like you repeat it. But if you keep repeating it, then you're appealing to infinity, right? You can't do that because infinity is a concept. It's not something that has scientific applications.
Oh yeah, and infinity is a mathematical concept, but it can apply to a space-time. Mathematically speaking, space and time can be infinite. There's nothing stopping that from happening conceptually.
Wait, but how is the universe expanding if it would be infinite?
The universe was always infinite. There was never a time where it was finite, and then it expanded into infinity. And it's hard to grasp this concept, but the Big Bang is happening everywhere. It's happening where you're standing. It's happening everywhere in the universe, as it always has. And if the universe is truly infinite, the universe is merely expanding into itself, and that's all that's happening here, right? It's stretching itself, and it's stretching into itself, which is a very hard thing to grasp, but it's very valid in science.
If the world truly started off as a singularity, which meant that it wasn't very large in surface area, but it was extremely dense in matter, then this is proof that we don't have infinite matter. If we were to have infinite matter, time would no longer move. Because if you're in an area...
Time doesn't move. Time doesn't move.
So there'd be time is essentially just the just like it measures movement essentially. So there'd be no movement.
Yeah, so the thing about time is that it's relative. So when we measure time in the universe, we're just measuring our perspective of our position or coordinates within space-time relative to something else. It is never there is no absolute time in the universe where everybody's clock agrees. There is no such thing. Einstein showed us with relativity that time is a relative thing.
I understand that, but basically, like, if you were to have a singularity that had infinite matter in it, time would not be moving in that. Therefore, it could not develop from a singularity to be expanding. There would be no expansion if there was
time never moves. Again, time never moves. Time is merely a dimension of space and time. It's merely one of the four dimensions. And conceptually speaking, you can have an infinite universe that is infinite in time and in space. If you can imagine an infinite space, you can imagine an infinite time.
Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, how did, like, do you believe the singularity argument?
No, it's not an argument, but it's not singularity. A lot of scientists are moving away from this idea. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, there's many ideas for the Big Bang we have quantum mechanics too to explain it. But there could be something prior to the universe, prior to the Big Bang, like a quantum field that grounds our universe, precedes our universe. There does not need to be a God.
Interesting. I just feel like you kind of violate the laws of physics. Like, any argument's going to be violating the laws of physics.
How?
You know, matter's being created. Like, matter cannot be created or destroyed, right?
It's never created.
But it couldn't have just existed the whole time.
Why not?
Because I already said that everything with a finite age was created, and we know the universe is not infinite, because infinite mathematical concept.
Now you're presupposing that it was created in the first place. We don't know. The matter could have always been there. Matter is always conserved, actually. It's a scientific law. Matter is never created.
And matter couldn't be destroyed either, right?
Right. If it's never created or destroyed, it's not created. You don't need God.
But couldn't you just appeal to the supernatural?
I don't know what a supernatural is.
Like, if you're saying, like, so these are the laws of physics, right? So if you use a scientific argument, wouldn't this eventually kind of collapse onto itself? Because I already, like, the infinity thing is not a preposition. Infinity does not have any real world applications. That wouldn't make any sense. Right? So,
well, are numbers infinite?
Yes.
Okay, great. Then it's a real concept, right? Infinity can apply to mathematics. Space-time is a mathematical construct.
No, but mathematics is simply just an abstraction of reality. It isn't actually real. Like, you couldn't have any physical properties if something was infinite.
Well, the point is that if we are limited to what our brains can conceive of, and our brains can conceive of a space-time that is infinite. Our brains can do that. It doesn't defy any mathematical laws or scientific laws at all. It is very conceivable that the universe is infinite in every way. There is no need to resort to God. By the way, is God actually infinite?
Of course.
Great. So then you already can conceive of actual infinities, which means that the universe can be infinite.
Not like science, not in like a material. You can't conceive of materialist infinity. Only like idealist infinity.
So God is made of nothing?
Yeah, absolutely. God's like an idealist.
So then what's the difference between God not existing and existing? What's the difference?
Because God is so powerful that he has an effect on the physical world as well as the idealist world.
How does a non-physical thing affect the physical?
Because he's God. All right, bro. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best at debating, but like.
No. Well,
yeah.
First of all, I appreciate your honesty for saying that. I really do appreciate your honesty for saying that. But yeah, go learn. Keep learning about science, dude. You're a smart kid, and I can tell you're young, but you're smart. Keep learning. Keep asking questions. That's all I can say. Okay.
I appreciate that. Yeah, have a good one.
Someone just said science is destroying the earth. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. Everybody, please subscribe.